for sure. Yep.
In the Borderlands franchise, there would be no Destiny or Anthem? No, I mean, I think Randy Pitchford talked about it at one point. It's like he couldn't believe that nobody had done what they were doing yet, and I agree, actually. I find it strange that there hasn't been other game companies that have actually done what Borderlands has done with loot. Because, like, every time... Yeah, let me see if I can pull an example. Can I inspect this? Is there an inspect option? Cancel. Compare. Compare? No. So, each one of the parts of the gun is pulled from a different manufacturer. I believe it's still... Is it I? No. I did something else. Each one of the parts of the gun is a part of a different type of manufacturer. So they built an engine to where they'll say roll a type of gun. It'll be like, okay, SMG, this type of rarity, and then it'll pull from different manufacturers the type of parts, and that'll create like a set of stats for the gun. And I'm surprised that there hasn't really been a game that has done that yet. So a lot of people like to say, well, Destiny is doing similar stuff, but like, Destiny's not doing that at all. Destiny doesn't have like random loot in that sense. Destiny has random rolls, but like, just because you have Outlaw Rampage on a gun doesn't mean you can see Outlaw Rampage on a gun. Whereas like, in Borderlands guns, you can see parts of the manufacturer on there. Just saying, yeah, nobody's ever done what Borderlands does. Look at the uniqueness of legendary weapons. Yeah, for sure. But I do feel like somebody would have come along and done some sort of experiment like that. It's just, I feel like Borderlands is like the king of that. I feel like Borderlands is a juggernaut in that sense, in that field. Also, it's like, with Destiny, they're going for extremely high visuals. And that gets extremely costly every time they up the visual level. So to have all those potential variables put in there for a type of gun that rolls, that means like the cost to make that look right in the Destiny world goes up more and more. Hey man.
Can I help you?
You're welcome. Okay, let's see what I have next in terms of story. Container found. Find the container. Let's get this container. But I feel like somebody would have come along and done it if Borderlands didn't exist. Thing is, Borderlands nailed a really approachable world that's very inviting for a lot of people to jump in and be like, yeah, it's this crazy universe that's fun. It doesn't take itself super serious. Case in point. Unintended.
You never should have come here. Now you're gonna
Okay, report to Helena. Helena! Yes. Basically, Destiny equivalent would be text handle. All on site with Hawkeye barrel. Exactly. Imagine a Destiny engine that actually, when a Better Devils drops, it was like, I wonder what parts dropped on the Better Devils. That would then like adjust the actual stats of the gun with that. Like if you had all Omelon, let's say it would it would have the max possible range on that Better Devils, and then it would also have perks as well associated with it. That'd be nuts, man, right? Yo, Return to Jackal, thank you very much for 10 months. Welcome back, man. Appreciate that. Peeps, cruising for a bruising. Yeah, Omelon grip, Hake, like, yeah, dude. Stuff like that would be nuts, man. Any good SMG class mods for Lilith? Yeah, I'm actually rocking a decent one right now. It's just a green one. No, wait, whoops, sorry. This one, yeah, it's a blue one. 44%, that's it. I do have a legendary one. No, I mean purple one. I did have one. I got rid of it, never mind. It's gone. Oops.
Yes? Did you need something?
Okay. Tail God kill, claptrap talk to. Story mission. Okay. Tough. I like it tough, man.
See you soon.
It's like Malawan? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, you're right. Kiba, yeah. Who would be like Malawan? Maliwan! Also, Borderlands elements actually do stuff in the game. This is one of my biggest criticisms when it comes to Destiny. It's that they don't truly have things, like they're gonna have this thing Arc Week happen. And just because a gun has arc doesn't really mean it much. It's just, if there's arc damage, it does more, and if there's an enemy with a shield that's arc, then it has a higher chance of, or I mean, it does more damage to that shield and can cause an explosion. It's like, that's a good start. I feel like that's what should have been in Destiny 1 to begin with, and then Destiny 2 should have expanded on that greatly. It should have been like, I really feel like arc should electrocute enemies and like give them like a slight paralysis or stun, or have like a build up to like a paralysis. Solar 100% should have lit enemies on fire. Void should be some sort of gravity like slow effect. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, man? Like tag, you can't have that in PvP. Alright, gonna balance that in PvP, guys. Oops. I mean, that stuff is like baked into this game. Like corrosive, electricity, or I mean electrical, fire, like all that stuff is built into the game because that's part of its sandbox. You know, it also makes it interesting for the guns that you get and also interesting for the legendaries that you get. And there's been a few times where they've done that in Destiny with things like the boop cannon,
Get out of here.
Risk Runner, you know, there's things.
Tell her to come see me in New Haven.
Thousand Voices.
She's getting her supplies. I know.
They've done a little bit towards that. Yeah, Zala Supercell. They've like rubbed up against it, but they've never gone full on into it because there's always been this PvP element to like balance. And also, I think like the sandbox designers have always wanted like this really lean, like tightly packed together sandbox that makes sense. Which, you know, it has its pros, but I think in the RPG sense, it has a lot of cons. And that's why Borderlands really excels, in my opinion. Yeah, I hope so too, Spencer. I really do, man. Tim Destiny didn't play a single ounce attention to what element a gun had. Exactly, man, because it didn't really matter. Yeah? Like, that's a shame. You have all these guns in Destiny that have these different quote-unquote flavors, but it doesn't matter. Million Beyond, Solo, and Bad Juju. I mean, I would be surprised if they don't come back, peeps, at some point in Destiny 2. Holy crap, you're level 30! Oh my god! Alright, well, looks like this weapon isn't button anymore. Let's try this. Okay. Oh my god, don't go away, don't go away. This guy not dead, Jesus. This gun isn't even legendary. It's doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, exactly, Master Combs. It doesn't give any kind of real satisfaction when the sandbox is built around like, oh, you shot 3 bullets instead of 4 bullets, and that's why your arc gun is doing slightly more damage on that. It's like, it's not really exciting. Like, I have an arc gun right here that is, like, has a chance to shoot like some sort of arc grenade out of these bullets. And this is like, it's a purple. Yeah, a gift from Papa Crom. Mesh Shoe, thank you very much for 37 months, man. Appreciate that. Welcome back, homie. Thank you. Firing eating knights. Thanos exotics for limb. Oh my gosh. Too about energy weapons or projectile. Shoot real energy effects. Love that. Dude, I've always wanted that, Spencer. I've wanted kinetic to be hit scan, and I've always wanted elemental guns to have like actual properties to them with them moving. And again, that would suck for PvP, but it shouldn't be PvP. What's this? Ah! That sucks. Come on, man. Stay with me. Stay with me. Woo! Stay with me. Okay, perfect. Nice. That worked out well, guys. Let's use a sniper. Solar should burn, void should drain, arc should electrocute. 100%, man! Whoops. Yikes. I gotta back up again. Well, I'm a little underleveled at the moment, but that's okay. Hey Natada, how you doing? Borderlands is a heavy reference on how the game should be. I agree, Master Combs. I really do, man. Borderlands is a good example of loot being just ubiquitous. It just rains loot. And that's what a looter shooter should do. Rain loot. I mean, they're saying 1 billion guns in Borderlands 3, and that's because they really want you to just experience tons and tons of guns. Let's go like this.